The fall of Hollywood's perfect couple.
What is the secret to this long-lasting, beautiful relationship?
Oh, boy.
Lori Loughlin's 28-year marriage to Mossimo Giannulli seemingly coming to an end.
She goes to prison for this asshole for 3 months, right? And he goes, whatever.
For years, Lori Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli looked untouchable. The actress America loved from Full House and the fashion designer whose brand filled department stores. A picture-perfect Hollywood couple living the dream. A beautiful family, luxury homes, and a love story that seemed unshakable. But behind the smiles and red carpet moments, cracks were forming. And when their secret finally came out, it shattered everything they had built. Because what started as a glamorous power couple soon turned into one of Hollywood's biggest scandals. A story of privilege, deception, and a betrayal that even time couldn't heal. How did a marriage that survived fame, fortune, and even prison end like this? Let's go back to where it all began. Before the fall. Before the scandal, before the headlines, Lori Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli looked untouchable. The actress America loved from Full House and the fashion designer whose brand filled department stores. A picture-perfect Hollywood couple living the dream. A beautiful family, luxury homes, and a love story that seemed unshakable. But behind the smiles and red carpet moments, cracks were forming. And when their secret finally came out, it shattered everything they had built. Because what started as a glamorous power couple soon turned into one of Hollywood's biggest scandals. A story of privilege, deception, and a betrayal that even time couldn't heal. How did a marriage that survived fame, fortune, and even prison end like this? Let's go back to where it all began. Before the fall. It all came crashing down in 2019. The world woke up to headlines that didn't seem real. Lori Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli accused of buying their daughter's way into college. $500,000 to make Olivia Jade and Bella look like elite rowing recruits at USC. The story spread like wildfire. Overnight, the picture-perfect couple became the faces of privilege and deceit. Fans who once adored Lori's wholesome image were shocked. How could Aunt Becky from Full House do something like this? Court documents, FBI statements, mugshots, it all felt surreal. And as the scandal grew, so did the pressure inside their marriage. What had started as a desperate move to protect their daughter's future had now destroyed their own. The fall from grace was brutal, and it was only the beginning. When the verdict came down, the world stopped watching with sympathy. Now it was judgment. In 2020, Lori Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli both pleaded guilty. Wire fraud, mail fraud. The words alone sounded like something out of a crime drama, not the lives of two Hollywood elites. Lori was sentenced to 2 months in federal prison. Mossimo, 5. The headlines were relentless. Social media turned her name into a punchline. For an actress who once symbolized warmth and honesty, it was public humiliation on a scale few could imagine. Behind bars, Lori reportedly kept to herself, quiet, remorseful, focused on getting through each day. Mossimo, serving longer, faced a tougher time adjusting. And when they finally walked out, they weren't the same people who walked in. Something in their marriage had shifted, something that even freedom couldn't fix. Because when the world watches you fall, getting back up together isn't as easy as it sounds. When Lori walked out of prison, she expected redemption. But Hollywood wasn't waiting with open arms. The same studios that once celebrated her success quietly cut her off. Projects disappeared, calls went unanswered, and the warm spotlight she lived under for decades went cold overnight. Her career, built on trust, charm, and family-friendly roles, was suddenly untouchable. And for Mossimo, it wasn't any easier. His fashion label had lost its shine, deals vanished, and the industry that once praised his creativity now saw him as a liability. Behind the scenes, sources claimed tension was rising. Mossimo grew bitter, frustrated by the silence from old allies. Lori tried to stay optimistic, searching for ways to rebuild, but the pressure was heavy. Instead of fighting the world together, they started fighting in silence. They'd survived prison, but Hollywood's rejection was colder than any cell could ever be. After losing everything, Lori Loughlin did something unexpected. She went quiet. No public apologies, no interviews, no dramatic TV comeback. Instead, she focused on rebuilding herself from the inside out. She started volunteering, donating to causes quietly, and keeping her name away from controversy. Those close to her said she was humbled, finally realizing that redemption doesn't come from headlines, it comes from actions. Meanwhile, her daughter Olivia Jade stepped back into the spotlight, first through her YouTube channel, then on Dancing with the Stars. It was Olivia's way of rewriting the family's story, showing the world that they were moving forward. But while Lori searched for peace, Mossimo seemed distant. Friends noticed the warmth between them fading, replaced by quiet resentment and two people walking different paths. Because sometimes, when one person starts to heal, the other just grows further away. For years, Lori and Mossimo kept their struggles hidden behind the closed doors. To the public, they still looked united, smiling for family photos, appearing calm under the pressure. But inside the marriage, things were unraveling. Sources close to the couple said that things were never the same after prison. Lori wanted to focus on forgiveness, on rebuilding a simpler life. Mossimo, on the other hand, was still angry at the system, the press, maybe even at her. The distance between them wasn't loud or dramatic, it was silent, and that's what made it worse. He spent more time in his own world, while she poured herself into her daughters and quiet projects. They stopped being partners, they became roommates, living parallel lives under the same roof. And as the silence grew, so did the feeling that their once perfect love story might already be over. They just hadn't said it out loud yet. After 28 years together, the news finally broke. Lori Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli had separated. No press conference, no dramatic statement, just a quiet confirmation that they were living apart and taking a break. But behind those calm words was heartbreak. Sources close to Lori said she felt betrayed. After everything they had been through, the scandal, the prison time, the humiliation, she thought they'd survived the worst. But Mossimo had grown distant, cold, almost unreachable. And when he refused to speak publicly about the split, the silence said more than any words could. Then came the whispers. John Stamos, Lori's longtime Full House co-star, allegedly called Mossimo a terrible narcissist, adding fuel to the fire. Fans took sides, tabloids lit up, and suddenly the couple once seen as unbreakable had become another Hollywood tragedy. For Lori, it wasn't just the end of a marriage, it was the end of the life she thought she'd rebuilt. Those close to Lori say reconciliation seems unlikely. She's focused on healing, rebuilding her career, her faith, and her peace of mind. Mossimo, meanwhile, is living his own life, far removed from the Hollywood spotlight they once shared. There's no animosity, just exhaustion. Two people who fought the same storm but came out on opposite shores. Lori feels betrayed, yes, but more than that, she feels done. But in Hollywood, nothing is ever final. Time has a strange way of rewriting stories, and forgiveness can sometimes arrive when you least expect it. But for now, their love story, once a symbol of perfection, seems to have reached its quiet, heartbreaking end. And maybe that's okay. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is finally let go.